Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have something very special cooking up. We're going to be making Jamaican oxtail. Very yummy and very tasty. Without any further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, we have about 6 pounds of oxtail. We have some fresh vegetables. We have some dry seasonings and herbs. And we have some vinegar to clean the oxtail with. First we're going to start by boiling some water with some salt in the water. And we're going to use that to blanch the oxtail with vinegar. That's how we're going to start the cleaning process. Okay guys, I have my oxtail in the sink now. I have a pot of boiling water already hot, ready to go. I had added some salt in it, and now I'm going to grab some of that water and just pour it over the oxtail and pour in some lemon juice and some vinegar to start the cleaning process. I'll start with some vinegar and some lemon juice, and I'm going to pour that hot water all over the meat. Okay. Put a little bit of cold water. Alright, our next step now is, after we already have our meat washed, we're going to make marinade. For that, we're going to use some sweet onions, some bell peppers, some green onions, some garlic, and 1 Scotch bonnet pepper. Now I've got my vegetables chopped up for my marinade. I'm going to start off with adding some oil in the blender. About 2 tablespoons. Now I'm adding my fresh veggies. Okay. Now my beef bouillon's going in there. I'll say about a tablespoon of that. And that should about do it. Alright guys, now our next step is we're going to start to make our meat very happy. This oxtail, luckily for me where I got it from, it wasn't too fatty, because some places the meat is very fatty and you got to trim some of that fat off. But for me, this one was fine. I didn't have to do any trimmings at all. So we're going to start adding our dry spices. I'm going to start with some paprika, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and our oxtail seasoning. I use this as a substitute for salt. I don't add any other salt but this. Okay, now we're going to mix all that good seasoning in there. Make sure the meat is very nice and tasty when it's done. And some people marinate for a few hours to overnight when they're making oxtail, but sometimes you just don't have the time to spare. And as long as you season it real good, it should be just fine. Okay, now we're going to start to sear our meat with a little bit of oil. And add some allspice in there. Now I'm going to add the oxtail one at a time. For this amount, I'm going to put about half of it to start with. We're going to let that fry on each side for about a good 5 minutes. take these out. These are ready. So I'll already make some good sauce in there. And now for the rest of these guys to go in. Okay, I got my meat searing in the pan right now, so I'm going to take this opportunity to cut up some vegetables. I have some sweet bell peppers, half of yellow, green, and orange. I have 2 carrots and 2 whole onions. This is what we're going to use to make our sauce with. Make it nice and thick. It's good to have a very sharp knife when you're doing this. Okay guys, now I'm checking back on the rest of my meat that's been searing. It's just about done. Nice golden brown color. I'll turn my fire down just a little bit. And I'm going to remove the meat. Now we want all that in there. That's what we're going to fry our freshly chopped veggies in. Okay, now I'm going to put my vegetables in here. Okay, our veggies starting to cook down. That's exactly what we want. Sweat these veggies out and get them ready for our meat. Now we're going to take that nice marinade we made earlier and we're just going to pour that all over our meat to give it more bold flavor. Turn my fire up just a little bit. Okay, now it's about that time to add our first round of water, and we're gonna pour some water to about where the meat is at and let it simmer for about an hour and then check back on it. Okay, now I'm just going to add my lid on there and leave it there for about an hour. Just let it simmer and do its thing, and we'll check back on it. All right, it's been about an hour now since we started cooking our oxtail. So now that the water's reduced some, I'm going to add in some fresh thyme and also add some more water so it doesn't dry out. Now I'm going to fill it right back to the top where the meat is. Okay, now I'm going to just let it reduce some more and we'll come back in another hour and check back on it. All right, it's been a little bit over 2 hours since we started cooking our oxtail, and now we're going to check it out and see what we have. Look at that. Guys, this will leave your mouth dripping with pleasure. No pun intended. When you're cooking with love and cooking with passion, it will show up in your food. Look at that sauce and gravy. Look at that. Okay guys, we're almost there. I'm gonna let this cook for about another 15-20 minutes, just to let the meat tenderize just a little bit more. And I'm gonna add about, let's say about a tablespoon of ketchup and about, let's say, a teaspoon of browning sauce, just to give it that nice color. And we're gonna mix all that in. Okay guys, our meat is about almost over. It's very tender, as you can see. You could break it with a spoon, but it's not falling off the bone yet. That's what you want. You don't want it falling off the bone, you just want it to be very, very tender. And I'm gonna let that slow simmer for about another 15 minutes. And we're gonna serve this up. Okay guys, I think that about does it for our oxtail for today. Let me check that meat. Look at that. Now you know it's good because the meat's so tender. See if I can get one here. See, we just break that with a spoon. Just melt in your mouth goodness. All right, I really hope you enjoyed this. It was very fun as always. Jamaican style oxtail, tender, tasty, we cooking with love. Guys, please subscribe if you haven't already and give this a thumbs up. Till next time.